Meanwhile, in New Jersey...
So, Marissa, what talking points do you want to hit on in this week's episode?
Well, Jackie, let's talk about how the film addresses the patriarchy. Ooh, and representation of marginalized people. Ooh, and even philosophical ramifications of good versus evil in horror.
We can point out the triangle boobs, talk about the blood splatter, and the practical effects. And also the male gaze.
My gaze at the males.
Hi-yo! From feminism to fangirling, the Jersey Ghouls cover all the bases of horror from a woman's perspective.
New episodes are uploaded every other Sunday.
Just search Jersey Ghouls to find us on social media and your favorite podcasting app.
Everybody shut up.
Matt, we are back, and this is a very big heavy hitter in Al's career.
Yeah.
That we're talking about. For those of you who don't know, and I knew this fact, but this fact still floored me when I read it again today. This song reached 39 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 2014, which means that Al is one of 3 artists in music history to have a top 40 hit 4 decades in a row. And the only other people to achieve it were Madonna and Michael Jackson. Like,
2 of Al's good friends.
He is in such high esteem there. I actually just recently saw a video of Howard Stern talking about how it's insane Al isn't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And he's like, literally, you say like, oh, he's been a musician for 50 years and for 4 decades he had a top 40 hit. Every person would be like, yeah, that person definitely should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And you say the person's Weird Al Yankovic, and they're like, well, we couldn't sully the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with that.
I think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has been adequately sullied already. I don't think Al is the least of anybody's worries at this point.
No, I agree. But for such a big episode, we had to bring in a big first-time guest, and that is Big Merla, as you might know her on the internet, or as we're going to know her for the next 45 minutes to an hour, Marla. Hey, Marla.
Hey.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You are like TikTok's version of Weird Al for parents that are frustrated.
Yeah, just less cool than Weird Al, though.
Oh, I don't know. You do some cool stuff, I must say. As you know, you don't do a podcast about Weird Al without being a bit of a music nerd. And just between the music choices and your ability to recreate those songs with child's instruments, I mean, that is quite impressive, I must say. So don't sully yourself that much.
Thank you.
It's a high bar to meet Al, but you're trying, and that's what counts.
I'm actually not trying,
Hey.
but
You're not trying, and that's what counts.
that's what counts. I love Weird Al, but yeah, no, I'm not trying to compete or nothing.
Yeah, that's fair.
You do. I mean, I think people had sent me your videos for years, even before I became a step parent. But it definitely was like, I think it was around when you did Prison Song by System of a Down, where I'm like, oh, this is like a deep cut music nerd choice.
The harder, the better. Like, the more hardcore, the better it is for toddlers, right? They're nuts, man. Like, you need you need it.
It does have the way that you're just banging on that little. I have the same stupid thing, the bunnies that you hit with the hammer thing.
Yeah.
Like, the harder that you hit that to match the intensity of like a Rage or a System of the Down song, the more I'm like, yeah, I'm into this.
I have broken it. It has fallen apart completely. But you can reassemble it. It's no problem. You can bang on that thing and put it right back together.
So when I reached out to you about doing this, and I said, is there any song off of his album Mandatory Fun? You very enthusiastically, I believe in all caps, asked if Word Crimes had been picked yet. So is this a personal favorite of yours when this one came out?
It's definitely very clever. No, it's a solid parody. It's solid.
I think what was really interesting about this one, Matt, and we've talked about this before, is this is kind of one of the classic Al does a parody and redeems the song that it's based around, right? We talked about this a little bit with Tacky, but I think even more so with this is like, as Blurred Lines became more
Not
and
Tacky,
more
Handy. Handy,
Handy, yes.
I know, there's a lot of similar names on this record.
So
Yeah.
similar. But yeah, like as the song Blurred Lines by Robin Thicke became more and more uncomfortable to listen to, Word Crimes was there to like give you an excuse to still really enjoy the beat of the song without having to pay attention to how uncomfortable the lyrics were.
Yeah.
The first go around. Like
Yeah,
he kind of saved the song in a lot of ways.
He did. And, it's just such a, like, I'm sure we all, like, we remember when this song came out? Blurred Lines, I'm talking about, not,
yeah.
not
this was like a song of the summer when
it was one of those things that was like, it was such a big deal. Blurred Lines. It was a huge song. And then after it was huge for like, I feel like a few weeks, suddenly a conversation started or grew. It's probably started from the beginning, but grew over time of like, wait a minute, are we okay with this? and then it became clear that like I think a lot of people just didn't. I mean, I will actually count myself in the group. Like I am just not the sort of person who, if I hear like a pop song on the radio, like I am not thinking about the lyrics as much as maybe I should.
Yeah, you're just into the vibe.
I'm into the vibe. I'm into the melody. Vibe. I mean, the song itself. And then they got sued for the Marvin Gaye thing. I mean, what a mess with this track. But I really do think this is one of those things. Like this came out at either the right or the wrong time. It came out at the wrong time for Robin Thicke, but like it's so interesting. I feel like if this song came out like a year earlier than it did, it might have no one ever might have actually started the conversation about this track and the lyric behind it, how it happened. It was a sign of like changing times in a very good way for how we like absorb pop music and people actually being like, hey, you know what? Maybe we want to be thoughtful about what messaging we're putting in these songs, even if we brush it off as it's funny, silly, jokey. But my point being that I think that conversation growing has something to do with the fact that Al did it at all. Because I think that Al, if this came out and was controversial right off the bat, I don't think Al would have done it as a parody. You know what I mean? And the fact that he did, and the fact that he was actually able to pull it into such a clean and joyful angle on it. Like, I think this is probably the most like, at this point, probably the most beloved or known parody on this record. It's still a huge part of his live show. As we know, we just saw him do it. Like he does. Yeah. It's technically in the medley, but he does pretty much the whole thing.
Can you guys remind me what was the issue with the lyrics of the original song?
It was it had like lyrics like, I know you want it. I know you want it. Like, it was just a lot of, like, people felt like it felt very rapey when they listened to the lyrics of Robin Thicke songs. And then also the fact that, like, there was two versions of the video, one where girls are in their underwear and one where they're just completely naked being, like, objects for Robin. It was just, very... It was as toxic masculinity as toxic masculinity could get in 2013 for a video.
Yeah.
And that was kind of... Al said that's why he did it. In one account was that he looked online because, now we're dealing with Al in the age of YouTube. So if he hears a hit song, he already knows that there's like 1,000 of them on YouTube. Yeah. That he has to go and see what all the song parodies are that everybody did to make sure that he's not touching on anything. And he said that he was really disappointed that every single song parody that he saw was just about the controversy of the song's lyrics and no one just turned it into something entirely different. And that's what like kind of motivated him of like, let's push the controversy as far out of the view as possible and make this just a dumb, silly song. And he said he made the parody about grammar. I didn't think at this point that anyone had done a Blurred Lines parody about the proper use of grammar. And I'm a grammar nerd.
Probably right about that.
But yeah, I mean, this is something that we've known about Al for decades, is how much he is... to use the phrase that people use a lot, a grammar Nazi. He is very focused on like not using literally incorrectly or those types of things. And that's become like half of his internet persona on social media for years at that point, was on tour taking photos of signs that were grammatically incorrect and trying to correct them in the comments. Like he's a dork in that way. I mean, he was a valedictorian. And what did we find out? He was like 15 or 16 when he graduated from high school as his valedictorian. It's like something insane. He's a genius.
He is a very smart guy. Yeah. And this is a great, I mean, this feels like, in terms of an appropriate song for Al, this is like a White and Nerdy. This is like him figuring out a way to make it about him without making it about him, or making it feel like it's just like the culmination of his skills. Like his skill set is perfectly attuned to this mission of taking this song, and it's probably so. It's I didn't see the quote where you found online, like him talking about how it was like I guess he did know that the controversy did exist before he did the parody. Is what I'm asking.
He was aware of the controversy, and he was disappointed that most if not all the parodies were about the controversy.
I gotcha.
Which is funny because this also became controversial for him when it came out for two things. The host of Grammar Girl, I used to know her name, but there's a podcast called Grammar Girls, Quick and Dirty Tips for Better Writing, was not a fan of this song at all. She felt that there was a high likelihood that this song would be used in educational settings, but all it does is speak down to people who have poor grammar in a way to feel superior to others by putting down their writing errors, and felt that was going to be a problem if people started using this in the schools, that it's just going to make kids feel dumb, not empower them to use proper grammar. And then, of course, he uses the word spastic, which we've kind of moved away from using in our everyday vernacular now.
It's funny.
And he's apologized about that.
He has apologized. That's just, I mean, we have 3 Americans on this podcast who would like that. No, not
Canadian. No,
Canadian.
Sincere apologies for that. That's
I'm not that offended. Just
you should be. I'm sorry. Anyway, 3 North Americans. I actually don't know then. In Canada, is that a very offensive term?
I didn't know that it was until... No, I didn't know that.
Because I didn't know that until I went to England. Wheatus actually has a song. It's a very deep cut Wheatus track that most people would not have heard from our third record that uses that word as well. And it had to be pointed out to Brendan over there that was like, hey, over here, that is not... It does not mean the same thing.
Right, I think Lizzo had the same issue in one of her songs.
That was when I first knew about it.
Yeah, it's happened a few times, But it's interesting. Again, it's like such we use it very loosely as this term to describe someone who's a little bit like, I don't know.
All over the place.
All over the place. Yeah, exactly. And there it's like a slur for a disabled person, like a very mean slur. So Al did apologize for using that. And he's not the only. That's what I'm saying. Wheatus actually did it. Wheatus did it first. We used the slur first.
You offended a bunch of people first.
Say, what a thing to stake your claim on.
I just want to make sure everyone knows that we were there first. You're welcome.
Now, Marla, I'm interested in comparing this conversation to what you do a little bit, because I do want to know, you are the first person I think we've ever had on the show who has done any like professional parody songwriting in any regard. How do you like... I would love to know, what is the moment of inspiration? My best assumption is that you're driving in the car listening to music with a child, and all of a sudden 2 ideas meld together as you're listening to the car radio. But I'm sure that there's so many other things beyond that that's more real.
I think the song has to be a banger. Obviously, I have to really like the song. If it's an obvious type of lyric change that fits, easily into the song, you're like, okay, you could roll with that, right? Like, spilling from my sippy cup, like killing in the name of, like, it just fits. That's so easy to write that as soon as you have that idea. So like, typically I feel like if you can find like what fits in the hook, you're good to go, right? Like, like the prison song, we're trying to build a prison. A crib is literally a prison, right? Like, it's just so easy. Like, we should all be writing parodies all day, all the time. It just happens naturally.
My brother talks about this on one of my old podcasts with him, but he's like, if we're really honest with ourselves, and most of us hide this part of ourselves, but I think that there is a larger percentage of people that annoy their spouse or their children with on-the-fly parodies about what they're doing at that very moment in the kitchen or whatever, or making up dumb little songs as they're going about their day. Like, I think more people do that than not. But your stuff is just so creative, and the extra element of playing the songs, but playing them with children's instruments to further. You're playing a role. You're writing the song from the perspective of the child half the time while playing the instruments of the child. Like, I'm like, I think it's brilliant. But I was curious, like, what is the nucleus usually? Because we've never really figured out Al's nucleus for anything beyond Madonna said you should do like a surgeon. That's the closest we've ever gotten to an origin story of a parody.
Yeah, I did one the other day. Like, my kids were literally napping. Like, I thought about it, like a Gwen Stefani song. You know, it says, like, can you swear on this podcast?
Oh,
Sure.
boy, can you.
Go for it.
Okay, so she says, like, you know, these kids, this shit is bananas or whatever. Like, that's so easy. So, like, I sat down. I'm a musician. I can figure out how to play it pretty quickly, unless it's like Slipknot. If it's hard, it takes me longer to figure out the arrangement because, like, Slipknot's friggin' nuts. But, like, you know, like a Gwen Stefani, like a simple beat with, like, you know, like a simple little horn line that I played on the piano. Lyrics, you like, I don't know. I feel like some of them are just so obvious. It's so easy to change the lyrics. I think if you gave me a song that I didn't really like that much, it's not a banger, I didn't have an idea, I would struggle. I'd be like, oh, how do we make this work as a parody? But I think that Weird Al picked his parodies very carefully, and they're very well thought out parodies. Some of them probably happened really quickly. Just like, this fits so well, right? This is so easy to write. And I believe he does play his own instruments. Do you guys know?
He has a band. He has had the same band since 1983 playing.
Okay.
They recreate every song in studio. They've never used like a backing track.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know.
I knew.
But yeah.
Yeah. I knew it was live, like, like recorded live.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if he played all the instruments or not, but yeah.
No, I think he's gone on the record that he cannot play like guitar or simple instruments. He can play piano and accordion, but
I think guitar is the
like,
big one, because I know he said he does, like, he'll demo everything by himself for the band, but he'll do it all on keyboards, because, like, accordion, piano, that's his primary instrument. So he'll do everything on that, and then give the band starting points based on those. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Especially on those originals. I guess on the parodies you can just send them the song and be like,
I suppose on that, he doesn't need to demo Blurred Lines. Yeah.
Hilariously, you did mention the whole controversy about the plagiarizing on this song too. There is Al falls into that category too. So Word Crimes came out, and then after Word Crimes came out, that's when Robin Thicke and Pharrell got sued by the Marvin Gaye estate because the music was very similar to his song "Got to Give It Up," and the estate eventually won the case. I feel like this is one of those ones where if you talk to certain music fans, they're like, this is like kind of like sets a bad precedent of like chords versus like actual sample situation.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, to speak on that for a moment, like what this case did, like, you know, again, Blurred Lines not the best song in the world for several reasons, but he lost the Marvin Gaye's estate won essentially not based on a melody or a chord progression, but based on just the overall like vibe of the percussion and the sound of the track.
I was gonna say it's like the cowbell rhythm or something. Like, it was something really stupid like that. Like the way the cowbell was played was very close to how the cowbell sounds.
It does sound similar for sure. Like that was, I mean, the other problem they said, Pharrell straight up said in the court case that Marvin Gaye's track was the inspiration, but that's allowed. You have to be inspired by other things. Like you have to be allowed to be like...
The bass line of Another One Bites the Dust is inspired by Good Times by Chic, but it's not the same bass line.
No. So when that case was lost, and generally speaking, people think that Robin Thicke and Pharrell lost that case largely because the public opinion of the track had fallen so low. Like it had to. There was actually bigger issues at play. Like people just were so mad about the song for so many reasons, and apparently Robin Thicke was very unlikable on the stand. He seems like he's not the best.
He does not seem like
he seems
like the opposite of his dad. I would go to war for his dad, but I don't know about.
It seems like
Robin.
He stumbled into some real success and then was not ready to handle it. But yeah, no, this was a tough precedent, and actually, the courts have kind of pulled back on this in more recent years, and are getting a little bit more strict about it again. But yeah, I mean, they essentially lost a huge amount of the royalties for this song, Robin Thicke and Pharrell did. And I did see a quote, I think you saw it too, probably, Matt, that Al did note, he was like, nothing changed on my end. He's like, I don't know exactly what happened, but I know that like I'm not paying anymore. So presumably the money he was giving to Robin Thicke and Weird Al and Pharrell they now have to share with Marvin Gaye.
Yeah. That's what I was getting at. Al, while he had to cite Gaye as one of the writers in the credits for Word Crimes, he did not have to also send money to that estate. It's just assumed that whatever money was being sent to Robin Thicke and Pharrell was actually being basically just streamlined straight into
just went straight into Marvin Gaye's estate. Yeah. So in terms of a case for songwriting, it was not a great one because it really did set a bad precedent. Like, if someone's not allowed to use a similar rhythm in their tracks, whole genres will go away. Like, that's you really can't copyright a groove. But they did get away with it on this one.
For dorks like us, music dorks like us, one of my favorite pieces of song inspiration ever is still Blink-182. What's My Age Again? For those of you who don't know, the guitar riff from Blink-182 was Mark Hoppus trying to play the bass line to the Green Day song JAR on the guitar.
What?
And
I
then
didn't
was
know
like,
that.
yeah, if you listen to the opening bass line of JAR, that do 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 do, like that's basically the exact same rhythm as What's My Age Again, just played on the guitar.
Okay. Wow.
He said that on our friend Chris's podcast.
It's amazing
Tom
how that
DeLonge
happens.
still can't play the riff.
Yeah. He still can't. I still see videos of him like messing that up on massive stages, and it makes me very happy.
He cannot play that riff.
we brought this up a couple times. The biggest charm of Blink-182 is that they are still to this day one of the least musically talented bands to be able to sell out arenas.
It's amazing.
They're my favorite band.
One of my favorite bands ever. I honestly, like, I have
100%.
an incredibly distinct memory I have of being a kid and going to see Blink, like one of the first, bigger at Jones Beach, Long Island, like one of the big shows I ever saw. And their sloppiness was so inspiring because I just remember watching them and being like, I could do this. Like, oh my God, like, look how many people they're playing to. And they're just like, they are like botching songs. They are like starting in the wrong key. I just couldn't believe it. And then laughing
not
at each
Travis
other.
Barker, but yeah.
Yeah, not Travis. Travis never misses, but the other two,
Travis
like screwing
keeps him
up,
on track.
stopping, yelling at each other. Like, I was like, wow, it seemed so doable in that moment. And here I am.
Which Blink-182, quick shout out, because I was listening to this album last night and wrote a very controversial hot take on Instagram about it. But Blink-182, who's sampled on the new Hillary Duff album that came out this week.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
He has a song called Growing Up where the chorus is the
Damn It?
chorus
I heard
from Damn
that.
It.
Yeah, I heard that.
Wow,
And that
I have
whole
to check
album,
that out.
my hot take was that I said Hillary Duff's new album's a better Taylor Swift album than the last two Taylor Swift albums. So
I got to give it a
stand
listen.
by that. I hate it. I hate it. Tortured Poet Society or whatever the heck it was, and I don't care who knows it. All right, let's talk about this lyric video because Matt, you and I have spent an absurd amount of time watching animated Weird Al music videos in the last year.
We have seen a lot of animated Al videos,
but this one feels a little bit different. It's a lyric video. He's done a few of these already, but MTV News actually made a very interesting comment where they said to them, they consider it a pretty impressive piece of animation that feels more like a spoof on the popularity of lyric videos than your traditional lyric video at the time. And I do have to say, in the grand scheme of lyric videos, this is a high-end, multiple moving pieces lyric video.
Yeah, I mean, this is the... I said something like this about stop forwarding that crap to me as well, but maybe these two are the only ones where I actually feel like a lyric video is the best possible vehicle for what this song is. Like, I don't think this would have been better. I can envision, and I'm laughing envisioning it, the idea of Al replicating the Robin Thicke video
with just words,
with words behind him, and just like the very strange, like we were again, with the girls like walking around and like I can envision a world where that was funny, but it wouldn't have helped the jokes that Al wrote for the lyric land like they do here. Like this is a dense song lyrically. Al is flying through grammar concepts and why they're wrong and what you should and shouldn't do, and having the lyric video on screen to show you visually what he's talking about makes the whole thing so much more effective.
Yeah, and credit where credit's due. This is a guy named Jarrett Heather. Al discovered Heather because he did a similar music video for Jonathan Colton's song Shop Vac.
Oh,
and
yeah, I know
Al was
that
a fan. Al was a fan of the video and the song, and immediately contacted him to tell him about this word crime song he was working on. And one thing I thought was very cute and very fun is that Jared Heather did every single animation in this music video except for the lyrics, "Unless You're 7," which he had his 7-year-old son Ethan draw those lyrics for him, and he stop motioned them into the video.
That's
and
cute.
I thought that was beyond adorable. That's very cute. But there's references throughout to the Blurred Lines music video. Obviously, you've got the like punctuation that are kind of bopping against the red wall at the start, very similar to the video. If you don't remember the Robin Thicke video, in big balloon letters, it just said Robin Thicke has a big dick in the background. Al ends this video with the same bubble letters coming up and saying Weird Al Yankovic has a big dictionary behind him.
I mean, again, that's an excellent, that's a great joke. How fortunate that Yankovic and Thicke, the last names rhyme just enough that he was able to pull that off and have it be just as effective.
That's so
I
good.
love that so much. I just found a quick quote here that I wanted to reference because you mentioned the, what was the person's, the grammar girl?
Yeah, grammar girl.
Al did an interview with Vulture where he actually did acknowledge, he didn't mention her by name, but he does say that he has been taken to task by a lot of people online because if this song wasn't as mean, they could have used it in classrooms. And he was like, I have a lot of teachers who are upset with me. He's like, but I'm really not, that's not what I'm trying to accomplish. And he points out something that I think is interesting, that is probably easy to miss, is that a part of the joke of this song is that it is making fun of people with bad grammar and also making fun of people who care too much about grammar.
Yeah.
Like it's both of those things at the same time. Like it's not just, Al is, he's pointing out correctly all these grammar things. Although I don't know if you saw this as well. I would have never known this, but someone pointed out that there is actually a single grammatical error in this song. Did you see that online?
No.
Apparently there is one thing that is an actual mistake that Al acknowledged he put in on purpose just to irritate the people who he knew would have been like fully on his side. Like, yeah, go tell him about good grammar. And he threw in one thing that's just wrong.
What's the one that's wrong?
It is the line, towards the end of the song, the lyrics there, oh, you're a lost cause, go back to preschool, get out of the gene pool, try your best to not drool. Try your best to not drool is incorrect.
Oh,
that's a split infinitive. It should be try your best not to drool. To not drool is wrong. He said
just trolling grammar nerds now.
He's trolling both sides of the table. He's being that mean and then throwing in a mistake. It's like, oh well, there you go. Yeah. Even those people do get it wrong sometimes.
And I think that people who are like, just kind of know the Al hits and haven't dug the lens that you and I have dug into his career. I
think most people have dug as far as we have.
Oh yeah, they are equally as knowledgeable about every little TV appearance.
Oh yeah.
Like what we've learned is historically he writes characters who are assholes. Like he writes from the perspective of terrible people more often than not. So I think for us it's less shocking that the character that he's embodying in Word Crimes is maybe not a very nice person.
Yeah, and that's pretty normal for Al, right? He likes to write from the angle of sometimes a not nice narrator.
Yeah. Just a real jerk.
Yeah.
Refreshing Wild Cherry Cola meets smooth cream. The treat you deserve. Pepsi Wild Cherry and Cream. Treat yourself.
LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't predict the future, but it can help you feel confident about future hires. Because Hiring Pro combines real-time insights and candidate data from the LinkedIn network with the criteria you've set for your role to deliver you a list of top-fit candidates. Businesses who use LinkedIn are 24% less likely to reopen a role in the next 12 months. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve. Or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
This episode is brought to you by Perfect Bistro Cat Food. Hey guys, today I'm interviewing my cat about his perfect bistro food. Percy, you seem to be a big Perfect Bistro fan. Care to comment? Totally. What do you like about it? You love the high-quality ingredients? And the delicious flavors, of course. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Listen to Percy, guys. Visit perfectbistro.com to try it for your cat.
Meanwhile, in New Jersey...
So, Marissa, what talking points do you want to hit on in this week's episode?
Well, Jackie, let's talk about how the film addresses the patriarchy. Ooh, and representation of marginalized people. Ooh, and even philosophical ramifications of good versus evil in horror.
We can point out the triangle boobs, talk about the blood splatter, and the practical effects. And also the male gaze.
My gaze at the males.
Hi-oh! From feminism to fangirling, the Jersey Ghouls cover all the bases of horror from a woman's perspective.
New episodes are uploaded every other Sunday.
Just search Jersey Ghouls to find us on social media and your favorite podcasting app.
Are you a fan of young adult novels?
Have you ever wondered the stories behind the people who wrote your favorite young adult novels?
Then join author Eric J. Brown
And Alyssa Lube of Netflix's The Circle.
every other Tuesday on YAOK.
Available on all podcasting apps.
Woo!
There are, I want to read a few of these. There's a bunch of Easter eggs in this music video. For starters, the graphic with the title phrase is modeled after Merriam-Webster's dictionary logo. When he says you're a lost cause, the poster of Lost shows up on there.
I did love to see the Lost poster again. That was fun.
Yeah,
it even has the ABC logo at the bottom.
Yeah, the ABC logo's down there. The number 27 appears a couple times throughout the video. There's a college notebook with Pac-Man and Trodor, the Burninator from
Trogdor.
Trogdor, yeah. Sorry, I never watched Star Runner. That's one of my toxic traits. Never watched it.
Wow. Oh, man, I love that show.
This is the first one I never caught this. But when he's talking about irony is not a coincidence, there is a direct reference to the song Ironic by Alanis Morissette, because the example of what isn't ironic is a bride and a groom standing with an umbrella in a rainstorm for the it's rain on your wedding day lyric.
You know, that's so funny.
And I was like, oh, I did not ever catch that.
I just rewatched this video and I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
That's great.
But their example of irony is a fire truck on fire. So
right.
And then, of course, we get a cameo from both Doge and Clippy, which is very exciting.
Do people still remember Clippy?
We currently have a Clippy magnet on our fridge that our 10-year-old asked for. So
is that the Windows guy?
The little paper clip that popped up and was like, I don't think you're using this sentence right, partner.
Yeah, and
I don't
then
think
in the
he
video,
called you partner, but it would have been better.
There's a very quick moment where it was like he hits a button that's like, ignore this forever. Or something like that. Don't ever tell me this again.
No, I was explaining this to my 10-year-old who's obsessed with Clippy, that I don't know how Matt, I know you're basically the same age as me, but anybody who's in their early 40s might remember that Microsoft Office also came with other options to help your grammar. My favorite one was a claymation Albert Einstein that would pop up instead of Clippy.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, you could choose from 8 different mascots, but Clippy was the automatic mascot that you got unless you changed it.
Right.
He was not as impressed by that piece of information as I'm learning that preteens do not care about what used to happen in the 90s as much as I do.
Yeah, I'm sure they don't.
That's been my becoming a stepfather takeaway, is nothing that I did as a child is important anymore.
I'm sure your preteen is muttering to himself like these millennials just will not shut up about the 90s.
No, he calls me a boomer, which
he calls
is
you
very
a boomer.
upsetting. Yeah. Oh, the angriest I've ever seen Barb was when he told us that we were boomers. That was the closest she's come to yelling at her child. She literally said, no, I am not.
See, and now he knows. Now he knows that he hit a nerve there.
Spoiler alert, didn't stop him from calling us.
I'll bet it didn't. I'll bet it didn't.
Do we have anything else we want to dive into before we start to rank this song?
Oh, I mean, I feel like this is one where we want to go over these lyrics, Matt Kelly. Don't you think?
Okay. You know what? I'm going to put you in charge of reading the lyrics because my inability to pronounce words is going to be on full display during word crimes.
Yeah. I do think, I mean, there's another thing here I just feel like it's worth referencing because I love this so much. Like, I don't know if you've seen this before. So Pharrell produced this track, right? And the Marvin Gaye sound-alikes notwithstanding, like the instrumental on this song is great. Like this is a really, really fun like piece of production that he put together for this song. Have you seen before? People have done compilation videos about how Pharrell starts almost every one of his beats the exact same way.
I haven't, but I'm trying to think back to a bunch of them, and
it's essentially just the very first hit of the song is like one. It's like he samples the first beat of the song and then just hits it 4 times. So it's just a bump, 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 bump. Like that's how this song.
I was gonna say we're about to do "Happy," which is Pharrell in like a couple tracks, and that starts with the
exact same way.
Bump, bump.
It's just faster. It's the exact same thing. But and then if I made a short list, "Drop It Like It's Hot." Milkshake by Khalees.
Oh my God.
Holla Back Girl. Like all of these big productions that he does, they all start the exact same way. And you can look online and there are compilations that are like 100 songs deep of examples of this. And it's just such an amazing, like once you see it, you're like, that's the most obvious trick in the world. But he has done it successfully so many times that you're like, man, I gotta, like he has figured it out. Like that's incredible.
I love when anybody on YouTube does something like that. Todd in the Shadows recently put up a video that I think was 3 hours long. And it was a montage of every time someone said stop in a song and the music dropped out. There's just so many examples of it. It's like, again, like you said, it's such an easy trick, but it's like, oh man, but does it work in every pop song when it happens?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Some things just
like,
work.
Yeah, the music stopped and they said stop. That's amazing.
Yeah. Don't overthink it. Just enjoy. Just enjoy. All right. Well, I'll take care of these lyrics quick and we can talk about them as we go. I'm not going to do, this song is loaded with little like extra vocalizations and stuff. And I'm not going to read every woo and hey. You guys understand, you know how the song goes. If you can't write in the proper way. Oh, and of course it starts with the everybody shut up instead of the everybody get up. Great start.
Off to a good start for a very kind character. In the
exactly.
song,
If you can't write in the proper way, and if you don't know how to conjugate, maybe you flunked that class, and maybe now you find that people mock you online. Okay, now here's the deal. I'll try to educate you. Gonna familiarize you with the nomenclature.
That's
You'll
a
learn
great rhyme.
Great rhyme. Again, this is like, it's the reason why I wanted to read these lyrics, because this is just Al showing off like his ability to rhyme these big words and terms with each other. Like it's very, very impressive. You'll learn the definitions of nouns and prepositions. Literacy is your mission, and that's why I think it's a good time to learn some grammar. Now, did I stammer? Work on that grammar. You should know when it's less or it's fewer, like people who were never raised in a sewer. I hate these word crimes like I could care less. That means you do care, at least a little. Don't be a moron. You better slow down and use the right pronoun. Show the world you're no clown. That's just one verse and chorus. So many things. So much.
Are you sure we want to do this whole song?
I'm doing it. Here we go. Say you've got an IT followed by apostrophe S. Now, what does that mean? You would not use it's in its case. See, this is it. You need the lyric.
The video is important.
You actually need the lyric to clarify these points because it doesn't actually read as well as it feels like it should. You would not use it's in this case as a possessive. It's a contraction. What's a contraction? Well, it's the shortening of a word or a group of words by omission of a sound or letter.
That's the most. So I saw multiple critics said that this song reminded them of Schoolhouse Rock.
Yes.
That one shoved together phrase is the most Schoolhouse Rock thing. Like I think of, I'm not sure if you've revisited any of the songs, but like Conjunction Junction.
Yes, of
has
course.
So many words shoved into the chorus where it's like, Conjunction, junction, what's your function? Picking up letters and things. He's like, I got to get all this in here as quickly.
Yeah, because the only goal is education. And in this one, he's squeezing it in. I found on, I'm going to assume some people don't know Blurred Lines. And in the original Blurred Lines, he actually uses the line, what rhymes with hug me? And he doesn't actually say what's next, but it's clearly supposed to be fuck me.
Yeah.
Which is a terrible rhyme. And Al on Twitter actually posted, this was before Mandatory Fun came out, I'm pretty sure. He posted a quote, and the quote says, "Bug me, slug me, mug me. Wow, so many options." And then the quote is attributed to Robin Thicke excitedly leafing through his first rhyming dictionary. And the fact that he does it like that in this song, that to me is actually maybe the most like, that is directly making fun of the Robin Thicke track in a way that I really like and I think is unusual for him to straight up make fun. Like, that is just a dumb... It's one of the most memorable lines in the original version of Blurred Lines, and it's so stupid.
Yeah.
It's like not even clever. It's not clever.
This is definitely one of those... We've talked about how a lot of the times when Al does a parody of a song, there's like love for the artist. And this feels like one of the cases where maybe there's not as much love for the artist as others.
It seems that way. Okay, now here are some notes. Syntax, you're always mangling. No X in espresso. I like that line more recently following us having a huge hit song called Espresso. Your participles dangling, but I don't want your drama. If you really wanna, leave out that Oxford comma. Just keep in mind that BCRU are words, not letters. Get it together. Use your spell checker. You should never write words using numbers unless you're 7 or your name is Prince.
Which this is the first time that he's making a Prince reference where I don't feel like he's actually dunking on Prince. He's acknowledging Prince gets away with this because he's the great one. He can name a song, "Would I Die For You" with the number 4, and it's all right.
I'll be honest. I largely wanted to read all these lyrics just because I wanted to talk about the Prince line.
I had a feeling.
I think it is the only time Al. I don't know if there's anyone Al has made fun of more than Prince throughout his career. And now on this album, this song, I think this is the last Prince reference he has ever made.
This is the first one I think after Prince died, right?
I don't think Prince had died. When did Prince die?
I don't know.
I don't think he had died by
keep
this
the
point
lyrics
yet.
going. I'm just stating things like they're facts. I don't know.
I like the fact that he managed to compliment Prince for once and not have it be a joke about Prince being short. That's usually what I like to say. Yeah. Okay. I hate these word crimes. You really need a full-time proofreader. You dumb mouth breather. That's very mean. Well, you should hire some cunning linguist to help you distinguish what's proper English. Again, using the cunning linguist line in sincerity is very, very rare. And to rhyme that with English, that's really something. Okay, now we get to the T.I. hip hop verse.
Prince died in 2016, so 2 years after this. So Prince was alive.
Prince lived to hear Al compliment him in a song.
It took him 40 years, but he got there.
He got there eventually. I like to think that those two liked each other. I think they did. One thing I ask of you, time to learn your homophones is past due. Learn to diagram a sentence too. Always say to whom, don't ever say to who. I have actually thought of this line in this song in my regular life, that exact thing. Always say to whom, don't ever say to who. I assume that's right. I don't actually know, but
yeah,
I think
it sounds like it's supposed to be right.
The only thing I read is that one thing is wrong.
Perspective on whom versus who?
No, that word crimes has taught me how to read and spell and learn grammar.
I am assuming everything in this song, except for that one line that I mentioned earlier, is correct. And listen up when I tell you this. I hope you never use quotation marks for emphasis. You finished second grade. I hope you can tell if you're doing good or doing well. Another one I actually think about a lot in this song. You better figure out the difference. Irony is not coincidence. And I thought that you'd gotten it through your skull about what's figurative and what's literal. Oh, but just now you said you literally couldn't get out of bed. That literally makes me want to literally smack a crowbar upside your stupid head. I read your email. It's quite apparent. Your grammar's errant. You're incoherent. So your blog post, it's really fantastic. That was sarcastic. Because you write like a spastic, which we said again. He does not use that line anymore. I think that might actually be why he keeps it in the medley. Because he cuts the end off this song and he doesn't actually get to that part.
He chops the end of the song off. I do want to shout out one little backup vocal that is very funny here, which is when he says, that is sarcastic. In the background, you can hear someone go, "Ooh, psych," which I think is so funny. It's so childish.
It is, yeah. Again, I love how he emulates, like, I don't really even think about how often that happens in songs where there's just some voice in the background just shouting random nonsense, especially in the pop music of this era. It's so prevalent. All right, very end here. I hate these word crimes. Your prose is dopey. Think you should only write in emoji. You're a lost cause. Go back to preschool. Get out of the gene pool. Try your best to not drool. Never mind, I give up.
There we are.
There you have it.
That's word crimes.
That's word crimes. Yeah. I don't know. It's so, this is so well written. I think this is like, not surprisingly, it's like one of the smarter parodies he's ever done. It's very like, again, Schoolhouse Rock, very like borders on educational for children. I personally love the fact that he made it like edgy and mean enough that no one's going to be able to play this for their kids on their own. I like that it's mean to adults. Sir. It's mean to adults and not to children. Yeah.
I was gonna say there was a 10 and 8-year-old watching me watch this music video as I took notes. They did not get any of the references.
It's not Al's job to teach children how to speak properly. Like he's yelling at adults who failed, not children who are being failed.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Matt, I love this one. This one's actually just missing making my top 10. I am putting this at number 11 underneath The Saga Begins and above A Complicated Song. Where are you putting it on your parodies list?
Wow, number 11.
Yeah.
That's up there.
I think it's better than Foil, and Foil was like my number 15 song, so I use that as my barometer.
See, I don't think I like it better than Foil. I don't think I like it better than Foil. No, and that's more like, I don't know, Foil is like has had a higher concept that I really just loved. And this is going to be a sort of, I think this is a very unpopular thing to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. I don't like this more than Handy either.
Wow. Okay.
I do really like this song. I'm not saying I don't, but I actually feel like, I don't know, maybe my opinion on the original, and I know I complimented the track a lot, but maybe my feelings on the original are coloring my judgment a little bit more here. But you know what? I will put it just below Handy. I will put it just below Handy and just above I Think I'm a Clone Now.
My number one parody, just
Matt's number one. I'm pushing it down. But yeah, no, again, I do think this song is great, and I think all of the parodies on this record are actually quite great so far. Yeah, but this is not this. I don't know why. I think that's a very not popular opinion, but I do like this. I like those other ones a little bit more than this one.
All right. Real quick music video ranking. I am going to say something I haven't said in a really long time, which is I don't like this as much as I like Ricky. So I'm going to put it between Ricky and Ringtone on my list. It does not cross the Ricky line, as we've called it.
The Ricky line. I don't have a Ricky line. I'm looking at my list like, is it get better than Ricky? I was like, that's not how I think about things.
No one does, only me.
Yeah, so you know what? I agree. It's not going to cross that line, but I'm going to put it at. I'm going to put it close to it. I'm going to put it in between Rocky Road and Close But No Cigar.
Okay.
Definitely on the higher side for guests for music videos, especially for animated music videos. Like, I think this is a very effective animated video.
All right. Well, Marla, as our esteemed guest, you get to do two things. First of all, you get to place word crimes on the highly esteemed guest rankings list. And we'll start there. Where do you think word crime should go on that massive list that I emailed you?
Honestly, like I wouldn't put it that high on the list. It's not one of my like top ones. Party in the CIA, is that in the middle?
Yeah, that's
middle-ish. Yeah.
Put it lower than that one.
Okay,
it's lower than that one for sure.
Well, now you get to move a song. Are you moving Party in the CIA up?
Is Fat on that list?
It's not on this list. We didn't have a guest.
We
for
did
Fat.
not. Yeah, we did not have a guest.
It's only songs that had guests with us. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. Pretty Fly for a Rabbi? That's like a number one type thing.
All right. We're bringing it all the way up. All right, I'm bringing it to the top.
I feel like I have too much control with that, but okay, sure.
You're putting that number one?
Let's do it.
I love that.
Wow, that's a great pick.
Quick behind the scenes here was Marla was like, I don't know if I know as many Al songs as your other guests. And my advice was, it's always a famous move to just move something to the top or drop something below it to the bottom. We'll always get a reaction shortly after.
It's true. Is Rabbi your number one? Do you have, if you have like a singular number one, is Pretty Fly for a Rabbi up there? I guess.
Probably Amish Paradise is to me the best one. Yeah, probably my personal favorite. I have a question for you guys. Does Weird Al know you're doing this podcast? Has he?
We are 95% sure, yes.
Any interaction with you guys or nothing yet?
But his bassist has commented on a couple of our episodes. And,
right on. Yeah.
And there's a much bigger Weird Al podcast out there called Dave and Ethan's 2000 Inch Weird Al podcast, where they have a very good relationship with Al and the band, and they're like, he knows about you guys. He's aware that you guys exist.
So have you guys ever met him before? Or?
We have not met him yet. Yeah, no, the goal is I don't know.
We felt like we couldn't fairly, unbiasedly rank these songs after meeting him, so we need to finish our job.
Yeah.
And then
that's fair.
And then can, because I think otherwise I'd be like, how can I put any of these songs at the bottom because he's such a lovely man?
Yeah. My personal goal is I really want to get Al and actually his bandmates, like his team who have been with him forever. I want to have them on and have them like pick a song. I mean, we can do general interview, but have them, I'd love to know like if Al, like, hey Al, you've done all these songs. Like what's one that you would like to do a deep dive on that you feel like maybe does not get talked about as much, something that's special to him that he doesn't get asked about as much. I would just love to know. And I would say that for like his bandmates as well, like something that just they have a lot of attachment to. That's maybe not, Eat It, which he gets asked about all the time.
Yeah. Well, and I think it comes from you being in a band, me being friends with people in bands. Anybody who's like a touring musician, I think every one of those people has one song that they wish was more popular because they love it so much, but it has just like gone over like a lead balloon anytime that they've attempted to like put it inside the set.
It happens all the time.
And get like an hour to be like, here's all the reasons why our fans are incorrect and that they should love this song.
Yeah.
So has he done something like that yet? Do you know if he has does he do a lot of interviews or anything?
He does do a lot of interviews, but the exact thing I'm describing, I have not. I remember seeing one thing where someone asked him to like run down his top 10. But that was, again, mostly him being like going over his 10 biggest songs.
I'm surprised. So you guys are the first ones kind of doing this particular thing. So hopefully he comes on and clears some things up.
Listen, we've had some questions.
We definitely have some questions. That's the tricky thing is like, we want to book him. We're going to be like, can you like block out like 6 hours to talk to us?
Yeah.
We'll take some breaks.
We've gone through your entire discography, and boy, do we have questions.
We have questions about every song on every album.
But yeah, it's our hope. My hope is that before this year is over, we will have had a conversation with Al on this podcast because this is the last album. We're almost done the song ranking portion.
It's true.
Portion of this show. So. Fingers crossed. Hopefully in our future. But currently in our present, you were on the show and it has been such a delight as a fan of all the work that you do. Where can people go to see your song parodies that you do all over the internet?
Just all over the internet, any app, all the main apps, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. What's the other app? I'm missing one. I said Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah, there we go. There you go. That's one.
The popular apps. You got to be everywhere when you're doing social media.
You got to be everywhere.
Is there going to be a big Merla album anytime soon?
You know what? I've asked permission because I'm in Canada, so the laws are a bit different. I've asked permission several times. What's an example? Louis Prima's People. I tried to do Angelina. I don't know if you guys know that song.
Sure.
I love that song.
Yeah, I have a parody called. It's called The Rumble Bomb, but it's very lowbrow. I'm not sure if you guys want this type of garbage on your show.
Oh, bring it on. Bring us your garbage.
It's about It's about drinking too many shots and shitting your pants. So I asked them, I was like, hey, here's the lyrics. I sent them a demo. And they were like, hey, thanks for reaching out. Hard no. No diarrhea.
It's nice to even get a response sometimes, like, because
I got a
you get so many
response
dead
from the
ends.
estate. Yeah, no, so I couldn't do that one legally in Canada. So it's really difficult in Canada to do parody because I think in the States you might be able to do it.
You can argue kind of, fair use on a lot of stuff. Yeah, fair use,
but in Canada, like, you can get sued and it's a hot mess. So we'll see. We'll see as time progresses what happens.
Do you want to hear an absolutely delightful... This is one of my favorite stories that's ever come up on this podcast. You want to hear an absolutely delightful Canada-related factoid about Wheatus and Weird Al Yankovic?
Yes, I do.
Oh, God, I don't even know where you're going with this.
So when we were doing our episode on Al's Green Day parody, Canadian Idiot, we found out that Al originally wanted to insert the Strange Brew theme song into the middle of Canadian Idiot, and he was denied the approval to do that. Wheatus starts a song with it that has nothing to do with Canada whatsoever.
Oh, wow.
On one of their albums. I think we found out it came out like the same year as the album with Canadian Idiot or something.
Yeah, we found like Al couldn't get permission. Like, he tried so hard and couldn't get permission. And I just, on the show, I was like, did we get permission? I don't even know. It's like, I don't even know if anyone checked on that. Like, I was like, oh, God. It's out there. I don't know. Lawyers don't contact me. You go to other people about this. It's got nothing to do with me.
Literally, as we're recording this, they just did an episode of Krista Makes a Podcast on Scott Farkas Takes One on the Chin by Less Than Jake. Yeah. Which, when it was released as a single, the album art was literally just Charlie Brown standing on the pitcher's mound.
Oh, wow.
And our friend Chris Falius was like, I asked Vinny from the band how they got, how did they get away with putting that on the cover? And his answer was, we only printed 500. They're not going to come after us for that.
Oh, my God.
So many people do that kind of thing where it's just like, you get a cease and desist. You're like, all right, well, then we won't make any more. It's like, yeah. Ask for forgiveness, not permission. So it's a classic strategy. Classic strategy, unless you're in Canada, in which case don't mess around with that.
Unless you're in Canada, then absolutely ask for permission.
Don't mess around.
Yeah, in certain situations, like if you're only like printing 500 of something as opposed to like releasing on a streaming platform, that's kind of different.
It is. It's definitely different. It's definitely different. Sorry again for saying you were American earlier. I apologize.
Yeah,
it's okay.
That's so embarrassing.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And
thank
Matt,
you for having me.
We're going to be back next week talking about another style parody from Al.
Meanwhile, in New Jersey...
So, Marissa, what talking points do you want to hit on in this week's episode?
Well, Jackie, let's talk about how the film addresses the patriarchy. Ooh, and representation of marginalized people. Ooh, and even philosophical ramifications of good versus evil in horror.
We can point out the triangle boobs, talk about the blood splatter, and the practical effects. And also the male gaze.
My gaze at the males.
Hi-yo! From feminism to fangirling, the Jersey Ghouls cover all the bases of horror from a woman's perspective.
New episodes are uploaded every other Sunday.
Just search Jersey Ghouls to find us on social media and your favorite podcasting app.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.